Hello, I'm Jack and this is Entertainment World, and today I'll be talking about Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn, which was directed by Cathy Yang and written by Christina Hodson, and stars Margot Robbie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ewan McGregor, Journey Smollett, I hope I'm saying that right, Rosie Perez, Chris Messina, I hope, and a little girl whose name I can't remember, and I'm just going to check that again because that's quite a lot for me to remember just now. Ella J. Basco, sorry, there's just a lot of names, and is the 8th film in the DC Extended Universe. Obviously this is part of my review series, which started off with the Zack Snyder films, which then led into the DC Extended Universe films, all the way up until the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I've only got Wonder Woman 1984 after this one to do. I'm very happy that I'm nearly done with all the filming of these. I've still got to edit a few of them, but I'm nearly done. And as you probably know if you watched the other videos, or if this is your first one, very excited for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But anyway, I'll be reviewing Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. I've got to get the full title in there now. And I'll be starting off with the negatives because, you know, like I always like to, because I like to get the negatives out the way first so I can end on a positive note. Okay, cool. So, my first negative with this film is, even though Ella J. Basco, who plays the character, did a good job and isn't a bad actress, and I'm not blaming this on her, Cassandra Cain is really annoying. Her character, Cassandra Cain, is really annoying. And she's like the main focus of the film in terms of the plot, is because she's in possession of a diamond, which the villain Black Mask wants, and it's up to the Birds of Prey to protect her from Black Mask. And the film focuses on her quite a lot and spends a lot of time with her. And that isn't a problem. Like I said, good actress, whatever. But the character is really, really annoying. Because all she does is get caught, make stupid decisions, and just be a general douchebag, but act really smug and like she's the smartest one in the room a lot. And it just comes across as really annoying. She just has this sort of like look on her face as if she thinks she's better than everyone else all the time. And it just like gets a bit old. But she's like, I'm cooler, I'm better. And then as soon as the shit hits the fan, she has to basically get saved by everybody. And I was only like, this can only go over like this for so long. And it did it for too long. I was like, you either make the character a bit more interesting or spend less time with her. And you can't really spend less time with her, she's a main plot point. So you could do a better job at making her more interesting instead of just smug person. Or cocky person. Or think she's better than everyone else. But because the general attitude as well is that of somebody who thinks she's better than everyone else. It's like the most typical, like, homeless street kid. Okay, well, we'll just give her like the attitude of every homeless street kid there's ever been in any film ever, and somehow make her less likeable than that. So it's just an annoying character, really, and I feel bad because the actress isn't a bad actress. She's a good actress. You know, she did the role, played the role well. Just the role was annoying smug person. So I was like, all right. What was another one? Because there's quite a few negatives with this film as well. Oh, it's just hard to think of which ones to start off with. I assume the next one I'm going to go into is the plot itself. Is a bit all over the place. Look, this film, I should have said this before I got to this point, but this film, I don't know how much studio interference there was, but there was some studio interference. So I'm not going to stand here and go, Cathy Yang stupid, Christina Hodson stupid, this. I'm not going to do that, but because there was some studio interference. I don't know how much, but there was some. So I'm going to not, take it all out on them. And I shouldn't do that anyway, even if it was all their fault and the film was shit. I don't want to stand here and rage on somebody for no reason. It's not like I was personally massively... It wasn't like, oh my god, there's a Birds of Prey film coming out. My dreams have been answered, thank God. I was thinking... I want Man of Steel 2. I want Wonder Woman 2, because Wonder Woman 2 hadn't come out at this point. I want Zack Snyder's Justice League, or the Snyder Cut at the time. I want this, I want a Cyborg film, a Flash film, Green Lantern film. My Birds of Prey. Alright, whatever. I guess. I mean, Joker's come out and Joker was amazing, so maybe they'll do the same thing with this film. The plot is a bit fucking mental. Because the problem is, the plot's not bad. But this film basically, what it does, it will something will happen. And then the film will use flashbacks to explain why it's happened. So, like, a character will go into a place, and they'll do something, but it won't explain why they've gone into the place or why they've done it. And then it will use flashbacks to explain, and then we'll go back to what it was in the first place that they did. Now, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is telling the story, so maybe it makes a bit of sense. But it just got to the point where I was like, right, you know, like Deadpool, if you've watched Deadpool, does the same thing, present day this, present day that. Well, imagine that, but it's not just one thing. It's not like it cuts back to the highway scene, goes back, flashback, cuts to the highway scene, goes back, flashback. It's like this, flashback, that, flashback, this, flashback, that, flashback. And then it'll flash forward. Oh wait, sorry, went too far, flashback forward. And it's just all over the place. I'm like, God.
Talk to you later.
Sorry, that was my Alexa going off just then. I'm going to leave that in because that actually made me jump. I was like, wait, what? Sorry, apparently Alexa will talk to me later. I didn't know we had anything to talk about. Anyway, yeah, because we do the film reviews together, me and Alexa, so fuck knows. I don't trust that thing. It goes back and forth all the time throughout the film. Seriously, it just can't stay on one thing for more than 2 minutes without having to go, oh wait, let me explain why, and then it explains why. And that's the other thing, is that it just explains things to you. It's like you can't figure anything out. It'll be like, so this character, yeah, she's here because she wants this, because then it will make her do that, and she wants it, so she'll do this after this character's been introduced. And I was just like, there's only so many times you can do that without it get really fucking annoying. And it just keeps doing it for like 100 minutes. This film's like 100 minutes if you take out the credits. The whole film's just going, character doing something, gotta explain who they are and why they're doing it. Couldn't show that to begin with, just gotta go back in time and explain it, and then fast forward to after the fight, and then go back to the fight, and then this, and whilst Margot Robbie Harley Quinn's doing some weird shit in the background, because that's all people want, is just everything thrown at your face and then have it explained why, as if you don't know how to watch a film, which, knowing that a lot of people who hate the previous DC films probably don't, because this is what happens. Right, this is what happens when you complain about films. Oh, it's too, storytelling's weird, or it's too much, or it's this. I don't get it. You get films like this, which basically has more explanation to what things mean than a fucking dictionary. I don't care. Just do something other than explaining to. And that's the other thing. So I'm done with that negative now. It just goes back and forth and explains everything the entire runtime. I don't like Margot Robbie Harley Quinn fourth wall breaking. I don't mind her narrating. I don't care. But there's scenes in the film where she talks at the camera, and that really bothers me. Right? I don't know why. It just does. I really don't like it, because she was in Suicide Squad before this film, and she didn't fourth wall break in that. And it was serious, and then in this film she's acting like she's Deadpool. And I'm like, why are you acting like Deadpool? Why? You're not Deadpool. Why? I mean, I know Harley Quinn has been revamped and become more popular, and now has her own sort of comedy, parody-based TV series, which does look funny. I haven't watched it. But considering this version of Harley Quinn has been in a previous film, and was nothing like this, and now is like female Deadpool, talks to the camera all the time, or not all the time, and that's the point. It's not like she's always doing it. It's just, it's like, oh yeah, we made her be able to fourth wall break, so we better have her break the fourth wall randomly in this scene for no reason whatsoever. It just bothered the fuck out of me. I know she's mental, and that you could assume she's talking to herself, But that's not what they're going for. They're just talking to the camera, and it really annoys me. I don't like it. That's just my personal opinion. Don't have to agree. Could tell me I'm wrong. Could say, Harley Quinn does that all the time. Fair enough. You like it. Good for you. I'm happy. But I didn't. Because this version of Harley Quinn had not done it in the previous film. Doesn't look like she'll be doing it in the Suicide Squad in the limited amount of knowledge I know about the Suicide Squad. Could be doing it, and if they are, then I was wrong. Happy to be wrong. I'm always happy to be wrong. Unless it's, did the Snyder Cut exist? I would have been very pissed off if I was wrong about that. But I now know I wasn't, so. But anyway, sorry. I just don't get why they did it. It seems like a random thing, and I don't mind as a narrator. It's just a random, like, 3 or 4 times she talked to the camera. I was like, why? It bothered me. It just did. It really did. Especially as it's meant to be a big continuity. It's not meant to be a continuity of the universe, but considering it's supposedly one universe, just a bit of a random thing to do. Anyway, so get those ones out the way, and there's another one. The villain Black Mask and the secondary villain Victor Zsasz were paid really well about their actors, and they had a lot of changes to their character. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have made the changes that they made. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because the changes that they made, which I'm not going to comment on because, you know, I don't disagree. If you've watched it, you'll know what I mean, and if you do watch it, you will know what I mean. They've given that those characters a bit of a dynamic, shall I say, and I'm not against that, and that's not my problem. It's just that it's Black Mask and Victor Zsasz. I was like, surely you could have made them more creepy. That's the thing. They could have made them more. That's what it is. They could have made them more creepy. I was trying to word it the best I could. I don't care about the rest of it. You know, they make Black Mask really camp, and I'm not against that. I'm not against characters being camp. I don't have a problem with that. But like, there were scenes where he was like scary, like a good villain. I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I like this. And then there's other scenes where he comes across more over the top than Jim Carrey's Riddler. I'm watching Ewan McGregor come across more over the top than Jim Carrey's Riddler whilst playing Black Mask. It's just a bit like, I don't know how I'm meant to take this. This is a bit of a, I don't know. It was like, I didn't know, and that's the point. I don't know how to take. I don't know what I'm meant to be thinking when I'm watching this. Is he meant to be a serious villain? Am I not meant to take him seriously? Is he like, what is this meant to be? I don't know what I'm, because there's, like I said, there's scenes where he's like peeling people's faces off, and then there's other scenes where he's talking about shrunken heads, and he's like acting. I don't know. I really don't know how to take it, and he just goes back and forth. And like at the end, he goes sinister. He puts the Black Mask on. Sinister voice works really well. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I said, I don't have the problem with the other changes they made, and I want to clarify that because I don't want people to think I don't like it because of that reason, or get offended or anything like that, because that isn't that isn't my problem. My problem is I don't know how to take the villain, because the scenes where he's scary and I like that, you could have done both, and then there's other scenes where he just comes across like a bit too over the top, too comical, too silly, too slapstick, too sort of like a character from one of the old Carry On films. He's just sort of like, I don't get this. The same with Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz is fucking scary. He's a serial killer who likes to set people free. You know, I like Arkham. Victor Zsasz in the Batman Arkham games is fucking terrifying. And in this, the bits where he is terrifying, where he wants to just kill people even though there's no real reason to kill said person. But it's like the rest of it, he just sort of comes across as just a bit creepy, like a bit... He doesn't come across as a serial killer, he just comes across as, like, he doesn't have any boundaries, if that makes sense. Like, he'll just sort of get right in your face and talk in your ear about really things and talk in this sort of voice. You'll be good at the driving gig, sort of thing. And you're like, what? It's just the villains are too all over the place. There's bits where they're really threatening, and that's cool. I like those bits of the film where they come across as threatening. But there's just too much where they come across as like they're trying to be funny in a strange way, and I don't know how to take it. So, I don't know. I feel like if they'd stuck to one... Have they made them silly and over the top the whole time? You know, whatever. It's Black Mask, so I would have liked more scary Black Mask. I don't care that they made him wear like eyeliner and stuff like that in his spare time. I don't care. In fact, it kind of maybe makes sense given the whole club electro sort of aspect to the whole film and making him a bit kooky like that. I don't mind a bit sort of like uses his hands too much and things. I don't care about that. They could have done that, but they could have made him more sinister opposed to just being... It's almost like they tried to make him threatening by creeping you out, like, but I don't know if I'm meant to be creeped out or if I'm meant to find it funny. That's my other problem. I'm trying to describe it the best way I can, because I don't know. I actually liked a lot of what they did, and I liked the changes, and I thought that his and Zaz's... I don't know if it is a relationship. I don't know if it's a weird friendship. I don't know if it's... probably the most inappropriate workplace relationship I've seen in a film. I don't know. Whatever partnership those two have, it does work in some places. I'm just bothered by the fact that there's too many places where they come across as really weird, and I don't know a lot about Victor Zsasz, but I also don't think he's the kind of person who gives a shit about other people from what I've seen from him. So it's just things like that. I don't know what I think about the whole thing. Bits I like, some bits I don't like, some bits I don't know if I'm meant to be scared by it, find it funny, or what, because it just is like, I don't get it. So overall, bits I like, it's just parts of the villains I don't understand, and I don't know if I'm meant to be scared or find it funny or what. I couldn't tell. So it's just things like that with those two. Huntress, who is one of the Birds of Prey, one of the, the main group, was really good in the film, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Really enjoyed her character. She's one of my favourite people in the film. Her and Black Canary are my favourite two characters in the film. However, Huntress barely has any screen time. She's got the least amount of screen time, basically, out of every character. And I don't know why, considering she was like one of the coolest. They do some cool stuff with her screen time. I'll give them praise, and that's why she's one of my favourites. It's just there's so little focus on her, yet she's so important that I think that was a bit of a waste. She could have had like 10, 15, even 20 minutes more screen time than she did. They could have made this film 15 minutes longer and made those 15 minutes be entirely dedicated to Huntress, and I would have liked that more, me personally. I know there's some people who hate this film and wouldn't want it to be 15 minutes longer, but that's just how I feel, because she was a cool character, and I really enjoyed the performance, so I would have liked to have seen a lot more of Huntress. And on that topic still, for a film that's called Birds of Prey, this film isn't really Birds of Prey, really, at all, if I'm being honest. But this film's less of a Birds of Prey film than Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is a Justice League film. Keep in mind, I like Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. I mean, I love Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. It's one of my favourite films, like top 10 films. I love that film. So not knocking that. It's just, like I said, for a film that's called Birds of Prey and then has Harley Quinn in the subheading, I can see why they then changed the film's title in the cinemas, other than the fact for cinema ticket reasons, to Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Because this film's a Harley Quinn film, this isn't Birds of Prey. This is Harley Quinn and the dawn of the Harley Quinn doing shit you don't really care about, and the dawn of the Birds of Prey. Apparently, for some reason, I don't know, because God, this film's just there's a huge majority of this film which is just Harley Quinn doing shit, just stuff, and you're like, this is, if a film is Birds of Prey, it's like 50% split with Harley Quinn, but the 50% that is Birds of Prey is still dominated by Harley Quinn. So, isn't really, they're not even the Birds of Prey until it's just sort of like, alright, it's best in trust me, it's best in Fantastic Four as in the 2015 film. But it reminds me of that, where it's like Fantastic Four, but it's an hour and a half film, and the first hour is them talking, and then they get their powers, and then they're on the run for 15 minutes, and then they get together for the last 15 minutes, so they're the Fantastic Four for 15 minutes. It reminds me of that. It's just like Birds of Prey, but the first half of the film is just going to be about Harley Quinn, and then second half of the film will still be mostly Harley Quinn, but have a bit more Birds of Prey, and then third quarter, is what I meant to say, and then the final quarter of the film will be Birds of Prey, but Harley Quinn will still be in it. So it just felt like Harley Quinn film, really. They should have called it Harley Quinn, and it would have made more sense, because this film really isn't Birds of Prey at all. And that's another thing, this film was marketed quite heavily, and was like, yeah, Birds of Prey, yes, let's go watch Birds of Prey. And when I watched it, I was like, is this really what they're trying to... This is their next big thing that they seem to be trying to push? Like, it feels like a great film if the DCEU had a lot more big films, like a Green Lantern film, a Cyborg film, a Flash film, a Black Adam film, more Suicide Squad films, a Batman film, more Superman films, more Justice League films. That would have been fine. No problem. But considering we got barely any of those, we had got an Aquaman film and a Shazam film, it was like, why is this what they're focusing on? Why do they expect me to be more interested in this than those other films? And then it didn't do very well at the box office, obviously COVID as well was starting to loom when this film had its cinema release, or theatrical release, or however you say it. However, I was just like, I don't care. I didn't really care. I went to watch it. I went and I watched it. I went to watch it at the Magic Lantern Cinema in Towyn, because I live in Wales. So I went there. I love Magic Lantern, by the way, and if somehow one of the people who work at Magic Lantern are watching this, you do a good job. I love your cinema. I can't wait for you guys to be open. I was just like... I'd actually gone to watch Bombshell with Margot Robbie in it the day before. So I went to watch Bombshell with Margot Robbie in, and then I went to the cinema the day after to watch Birds of Prey with Margot Robbie in. Two very different characters. And I even said that to the lady working there. She was like, oh, you're back again? And I said, yeah, same actress, very different characters. And she was like, yeah. So, I just thought, like, why? Joker, can see why they did that, because Joker's Joker. Harley Quinn, can see why they did that. I just thought they were treating this film like it was going to be the next Batman film, and I was like, why? I'd never really even heard of the Birds of Prey before this was a thing. Well, I knew who they were, but I'd never been like, oh, Birds of Prey, got to read that, sort of thing. And no, it's not because, like, I like... Before anybody gets triggered by that because it's like, oh, it's because it's a female cast, is it? No, I don't care. Not like I don't care. That's a good thing. Having a female cast, good thing. Wonder Woman is one of my favourite superhero films. I wish Marvel had made a Black Widow film a lot earlier, and they still haven't, because they still not released it at the time of filming this. I wanted to like Captain Marvel, I just didn't think Captain Marvel was very good. I don't mind films which have female leads. Obviously, like Tomb Raider is a famous one. So, I don't mind films with female leads. I just thought that this film was relying on that without relying on people caring about who any of... only people watched it because Margot Robbie's in it, because she's got... everyone liked... people said she was the best thing about Suicide Squad, because she was. So we'll make a film to do that, to capture on Margot Robbie's popularity and feminism. And that's fine, but you're doing it... the way they did it, it was just... the way... it's like this film would have been better in a bigger universe as like in a fun addition with a good political message. However, this film was the main focus of the year, was their big film, was they were promoting the hell out of it, and as the box office showed, nobody really gave a shit. So, I mean, Wonder Woman's the perfect... Wonder Woman is almost the perfect comic book film, full stop. So, that's a good example, whereas I just think this film was just pushing for a political message and didn't... it could have been a lot better than it was, and obviously with studio interference. Here's the thing as well, political messages work when it's a person trying to make political messages. Political messages don't work when it's a committee trying to make a political message and they don't know what the message is. Like, I couldn't really make, obviously, a political message. I couldn't make Black Panther. I couldn't make Wonder Woman, because I'm not one of those people who could say what it's like to be in that situation, so it's not for me to say it. Whereas films like this, again, when they're like, we need to push a political message, and they get people like middle-aged businessmen to think, how do we make a strong female character? That's not for you to decide. And I'm not saying a man can't, because Zack Snyder did it well with Wonder Woman, and obviously, but that's because it was more subtle. This film's like, well, political message, so we're going to have every man in the film be a complete dickhead. Yeah, that's it. That's how it makes a political message, by every male being a complete shithead, and every woman beat the shit out of them. Which I don't mind. I quite enjoy watching a woman beat up a rapey guy. I think that's quite satisfying, not in that way, but like watching a guy like, I can use her, what are you going to do about it, and then kick the shit out of them. That's quite a... yeah, you deserve that. That was enjoyable, but like, I wouldn't make a 1 hour 45 minute film out of that concept. It's like a cool scene, not 1 hour. You can't. So, yeah, it was just. I don't know. It's just this film just felt way too pushed, considering it wasn't actually that good, and I wouldn't be like the big new thing, because it was never going to be. So I feel bad for it in that sense, but Warner Brothers didn't market this film very well. They overly marketed it, and unfortunately the box office did not do very well, and I feel bad for the director because she was upset with the results. I do feel bad for Kathy Yang, but this is what happens when a studio tries to reach a market but doesn't know how to do it. So, yeah, I do feel bad for her in all fairness. So anyway, a couple spoiler negatives now, so if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, timestamp here. Okay, as I said, timestamp, so if you haven't watched it, go to the timestamp, but I'm going to talk about it now. Anyway, they're just little negatives, so they're almost not spoilery, I just wanted to say. So as I said at the start, there's a lot of focus on Cassandra Cain. There's a huge portion of this film which is focused on the point of her taking a shit. Honestly, she swallowed a diamond, they want a diamond, so they give her laxatives, prune juice and spicy foods to try and make her shit said diamond out, so Victor Zsasz doesn't cut her open. Honestly, just... surely you could have made a better plot point than one of the main characters needing to fucking shit out a diamond. Like, surely there's a more interesting way to do it than that. Like, is it meant to be funny? Is it meant to be serious? I don't know. I don't know what I'm meant to take from that. So, if it's meant to be funny, I don't think shit humour is that funny. That's like a child sense of humour. And if it's meant to be serious, then it's too weird to be serious. So, I really don't know. I really don't know. I just thought it was a very weird choice to make one of the main plot points of the film is that this 14-year-old girl needs to fucking dump out a diamond. Well, anyway, and the amount of time they spend on that as well. There's like an entire scene where she's fucking taped to a toilet. Like, well, why? Ugh. There's so much time, and like I said, bouncing around all over the place, like with the police station scene. Oh, gonna go and invade the police station, but no way, I'm now gonna go on a 15-minute long fucking tangent to explain why I'm at the police station, because she swallowed the diamond, I've got to go to the diamond, she's now in the police station, so I'm gonna go in the police station to get her to get the diamond, but I couldn't just say that in the first place, so I'm gonna start the action scene, and then stop halfway through, to then explain all of that shit, and then cut back to it, just things like that. I'm like, just stop it, just tell one cohesive thing, please. Just 10 minutes. Just say one cohesive thing. Stop bouncing around, please. It's really annoying. So it's just stuff like that. So we've got girl needs a turd, fucking bouncing around, villains which come across as scary in some scenes and just weird and goofy in other scenes, and things like that. And a really cool character is only in it for 10 minutes, and it's called Birds of Prey, although there's a huge subplot with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn and a fucking breakfast roll, which sounds disgusting to me anyway. So, just me personally, because I don't like egg or cheese. And it's an egg, cheese and bacon roll. So, two of those things I don't like. So I'm not even like, oh yeah, I'd fight for that. If somebody handed me that, I'd be like, ooh, get that fucking thing away from me. Just personally. So, I don't know why. This film's priorities, it has no priorities. Cool character, people don't give a shit. They want breakfast roll, turd girl, and story that needs to be explained because we don't know how to explain it without flashbacking every 4 minutes. Just a bit of a rant because it's just a bit too low all over the place, really. Oh, and we're going to market this film because this is whatever, but this is the next big film. Not even a Wonder Woman 2. They could have made the film a lot better. Had they made the film a lot better, hey, Birds of Prey could have been amazing. I just don't care. I just don't care about what. Why do I care about a breakfast roll? As I've said, it's not about the political messages. Fine, you put a political message in a film. That's a good thing. They can be good, and you can walk away from the film rethinking about real world decisions. But I'm not going to do that for Margot Robbie chasing a fucking. I'm not sexist. I'm not a sexist, so I don't know what I'm meant to take away from this film. Apart from, I'm a terrible person if I don't like it. I don't really, I didn't dislike it, it's just, I don't care about it enough to, like, I don't care about a breakfast roll. I don't want to watch somebody need to take a shit. I don't want to watch the story which has to be explained to me every 5 minutes. Like, I don't know, I just had to get that little rant out of me there. Sorry about that. Had it been any other film as well, like, could you imagine an Aquaman film where there's an entire subplot where he wants, like, a burger, or a beer, or something like that, and then the beer or burger falls on the floor, and then he cries about it, and then he has to help Mira take a shit, and then everything's explained through flashbacks. Like, I just don't get what the overall film was going for, really. And it's only since talking about it, the more I think about it, the more I think, yeah, this film didn't age very well, did it? It was cool in the cinema, I had a lot of fun. Upon rewatching it, I'm just like, it just gets almost worse every time I watch it. So, and I don't want that. I want a film which gets better upon rewatching it, not gets fucking worse. So anyway, that's my spoiler negative rant done. So I'm now going to go into the positives, because after all of that, there are some. So there are some positives. It's not a complete, it's not a shit bomb of a film. but there's just enough for it to annoy me. So I'm going to now go into the positives. The cast all do a good job. Even characters I don't like Cassandra Cain, the actress, did a good job. And even Victor Zsasz and Black Mask, I don't know if I'm meant to find them funny or goofy or scary or what. They were played well. Ewan McGregor gave a great performance. I thought he was amazing in this film. Chris Messina, I think he's called. Good Victor Zsasz. Looks like Victor Zsasz. No problems there. Margot Robbie, obviously. Amazing Harley Quinn. Rosie Perez was a good detective somebody. Fuck, I think it's also Perez if I'm being honest. I can't remember, I'm going to put the character's name there, sorry. So, anyway, yeah, they're good. They're good cast, and like I said, Huntress and Black Canary are my favourite two characters, and I like them. I really like those two characters. They're like the saving grace of this film for me, is Black Canary and Huntress. You know, and Ewan McGregor's performance. I don't even like Harley Quinn in this film as much as I liked her in Suicide Squad. I just found her almost annoying. So, I don't know. If Ewan McGregor gave a bad performance and Huntress and the action is amazing, there's a great, been a lot worse than it was. There's a lot of great fight scenes. The choreography is great. I really enjoy it. Make this film a lot more enjoyable as well. Love that side of it. Really well made. The final battle is really good and a really good length as well. Surprisingly long. This film has got some surprisingly dark moments, quite a lot of violence. Like I said, people have their faces cut off, people get set on fire, people have limbs broken, a person gets eaten by a fucking hyena. There's a lot of violence and there's a lot of sex jokes and there's a lot of adult content, which I'm like, yes, I like this because Marvel would never make a film like this. I like it for those reasons. That's fun. The action scenes are amazing, but the action scenes are amazing in a way where I would, if I wanted to watch Birds of Prey, I'd rather YouTube Birds of Prey action sequences than then watch Birds of Prey, because the rest of the film isn't that interesting, and the characters that are interesting don't have a lot of screen time. We follow Cassandra Cain, who needs to take a shit. We follow Cassandra Cain and Harley Quinn. I keep really saying Margot Robbie. Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn's not as good as she was in Suicide Squad, and Cassandra Cain's really annoying. Had they spent more time Black Canary and Huntress, much better, because I like those characters, and they were played brilliantly. And without spoiling anything, you know, this film does have the potential to start a good little spin-offs, maybe a little franchise, a sequel or two. That's fine. The way this, without spoiling it, like I said, film ends off on a note where that would work. And I like Huntress and I like Black Canary. I did like the policewoman, although I can't remember what her name was, and I found her too over the top to find enjoyable compared to the other two. So, you know, I would watch a sequel if they made it, and I would pay for it, because there are things I did like about it. It's just this film has so many huge negatives that it becomes too glaring. It's too the negatives are too in your face. So, especially upon rewatching it. First time I watched it, really enjoyed it. Second time less so. Third time less so. Fourth time, okay, I could have just had a phone call and I'd rather been on that, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I do want to like this film. There's just too many big things for me to fully go, yes, I love this film. And it doesn't, and they overhyped it as well with the marketing. So, and the trailer looks better than the film was. So, it's just things like that. A couple of spoiler positives now. So again, if you want to watch it, you haven't watched it, timestamp, because I'm just going to mention a few spoiler positives. The first little one is Black Mask's death. It was fucking hilarious. I loved it. It was amazing. It was so graphic as well. Just like pulled the pin out the grenade, kicked him over the pier, he fell down, exploded mid-air with bits of Black Mask going everywhere. That was fucking cool. I did enjoy that. That was funny.
sorry I tried to sell you. That was a dick move. For what it's worth, you made me want to be a less terrible person.
Ew.
If we're apologizing for shit, I should tell you something.
Excuse me?
I stole something from you. You slippery-fingered little turd. I took your ring. My ring?
Dope.
And I did enjoy Huntress's backstory, you know, with the family murder, growing up to be trained to an assassin. Like I said, she's had a cool backstory and could have had a lot more potential had they spent more time focusing on her. So, you know, just those little spoiler positives there, nothing major, just little things. And one last positive, there are quite a few funny moments, a few good one-liners, and a good memorable gags.
Hey, nice. What the hell is up with this bow and arrow shit?
It's not a fucking bow and arrow, it's a crossbow. I'm not 12.
I love this chick. She's got rage issues.
I don't have rage issues!
You know, psychologically speaking, vengeance rarely brings the catharsis we hope for. Yeah. Are we ready?
So, this film, overall, does have some good moments. Overall, I would recommend you watch this film if you love DC films and you want more good DC film, because it is an okay film. It's fun. You'll probably have some fun with it. You'll enjoy it, and you'll sit back and be like, yes, there's moments about this which are good. I used to prefer this to Suicide Squad, but upon rewatching it, I would rather watch Suicide Squad again. Honestly, my opinion anyway. There are things I prefer more about this film, like the violence and the gore. Suicide Squad could have done with that, but there's just too much. I like the cast in Suicide Squad, and I like the characters in Suicide Squad. I don't really like the cast. I don't like Cassandra Cain. I don't know how to. Ewan McGregor's Black Mask is a better villain than Enchantress, but it's just so I don't know how I'm meant to take it. And like I said, when I watch Suicide Squad, I see a huge amount of potential, and I think the David Ayer Suicide Squad will be much better, and I see that in that film. I can't see a better version of this film. I know there's a studio interference, and there's probably an alternate cut out there, but I can't see it being world's best in this. So yeah, I'm sorry. I would recommend it if you want a fun film. You want a fun, super dark comedy, female-led comic book film. Yeah, you would watch it. You could watch it and you'll have fun. But it certainly isn't a must-see, yes, amazing comic book film. It's no Dark Knight, no Man of Steel, no Batman v Superman, no Wonder Woman. It's a thing you can watch and you'll have fun watching it, sort of thing. Possibly have fun. You might hate it. I don't know. It's a bit of a Marmite film. Some people love it, some people hate it. But if you do decide to watch it, I do always, like I said, recommend the 4K or the Blu-ray, because unless you got the best internet, you know, the quality's never what it says it is. Although you might as well rent it off like Amazon Prime or something. I don't know, because I don't know. If you really enjoy it, if you rent it and enjoy it, yeah, fucking buy it. Of course, don't. I bought it because I enjoyed it the first time I watched it. It's just upon rewatching it, each time I enjoy it less, and the negatives become more obvious, and that's why it's difficult to watch review a film based on your first opinion on it. Because I would have given the Transformers films a good review. Jesus Christ, could you imagine if I'd done that? Yeah. So, yeah, give it more. If you enjoy it, I recommend you rent it. If I'm being honest with you, rent it first. If you like it, buy it on Blu-ray or 4K. You know, do that. But do that with any film you enjoy. Don't, you know, if you love this film, don't watch this and think I'm insulting you. If you love what they did with Black Mask, good. I didn't dislike everything. I like elements of what they did with Black Mask and Victor Zsasz. I just didn't know how to take them. I didn't know if I was meant to find them funny or not. I didn't enjoy Margot Robbie as much in this film. I didn't like Cassandra Cain as a character, but don't let that stop you from enjoying it. I'm not here to tell you your opinion is wrong. If you fucking hate this film, then you fucking hate this film. And, you know, whatever, just have your own opinion. Have your own opinion. Seriously. That's my opinion. It's okay. It's fun. It's not good, by any means, but it's fun. It's a fun film. You can have fun watching it. So, film quality, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Entertainment value, 6.75 or 6.75 out of 10. You can have fun with it. You can enjoy it. But if I never watched it again, I don't think I'd be heartbroken about it. So, yeah, that's my. No, it's good. Not 6.75. I feel too bad because there's too many. There is too many. 7 out of 10. It's entertainment value 7 out of 10. I felt bad for that. I did. That felt too harsh. So, like I said, 6.5 out of 10 for film quality, 7 out of 10 for entertainment value. Rent it first. You enjoy it, buy it, or if you just want to buy it straight away. You know, I'm not telling you what to do. It's just my recommendation. So yeah, there's just a lot of things they could have done the film to be better. And had the film being as good as the marketing and the hype that Warner Brothers tried to push for it, this film would have been amazing. But it's because nobody really cared. The film wasn't... And that's the thing. Sometimes you get films where people don't really care. And then the reviews come out and people's opinions come out and word of mouth comes out and people go, oh my god, I've got to go watch it now. But when it's a film that people don't really care about and then people say the film's only average, it's not going to flood the theatre or the cinema or however you want to word it with, you know, people. It's going to just waver. And it did. And obviously COVID didn't help. So I don't know what the future of these films are. I think this was like Warner Brothers trying to market to, trying to go a political route with their thing. And it didn't work out the way they wanted it to. And unfortunately, with the film's many flaws, it was never going to. Even without COVID. So, yeah. I'd rather watch Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, BVS, Man of Steel again. That's my opinion. But you can watch it and have a bit of fun with it, I guess. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if you don't agree with me and it pissed you off. Obviously, I'm sorry if I've done that, but it's just my opinion. That's all this is. And upon my recommendation, if you're going to binge watch the whole thing like the old DC films, then yeah, watch it. But you know what I mean. Next review will be Wonder Woman 1984, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League after that. So, yes, come on. I am looking forward to that. I am really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing a proper Batman who doesn't tell jokes, a Superman who hasn't got a shitty face, Flash who understands what brunch is and doesn't feel the need to talk about it, a really cool Aquaman, Wonder Woman with a great character, great action scenes, and isn't like just upskirt shots and Flash landing on her cleavage for some reason, and a cyborg with a proper character arc. So I can't fucking wait for that film. And I'll be, of course, reviewing that non-spoilers. So, yes, I hope you watch the next 2 videos I do as well. So anyway, thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching again. Goodbye.